City driving may feel easy, but proper speed control is essential when we want to drive in the city area. Yes, you heard me right. In this video, I will show you exactly how you can drive in a city area, where we will focus on speed compliance, then we will talk about lane discipline, and lastly, we will talk about pedestrians and cyclists awareness using real driving example. So for this video purpose, we are in Wernigerode, and now as we want to come out of the parking spot, so here we have to indicate, we have to check our hard shoulder, and then we can merge onto the main lane. So now from the next intersection, as we want to turn right, so here we have to indicate, and important thing, we need to check the signboard. So here as we can see that there is a giveaway sign, which means that we have to wait and allow the other road users to cross the intersection first. So this is the meaning of giveaway signboard. So now as there is no one, we can turn right. City driving may feel easy, but proper speed control is essential. So in this video, I will be explaining some of the important points where we'll talk about city zone rules. Then we'll talk about core city awareness, lane positioning and management. Then we'll talk about junction handling, and lastly, during the video, I will explain some of the common exam mistakes. So watch until the end. So now, as we have priority sign, we can drive continuously straight ahead. So from the next intersection, we want to turn right, and as we are turning right, we are using the priority lane, which means that we have to indicate. So from the exam perspective, this signboard is really important, and many learners fail to indicate when they turn or when they use the main priority lane, and they forgot to indicate. So these are the common mistakes what we need to avoid. So now from the next traffic light, as we want to turn left, here we are in a left lane. When we drive in the city area, proper speed control is essential. So what I mean is that when we drive inside the city area, outskirts of city area, change of speed is necessary. For instance, here we can see that now the speed limit has changed from 50 to 70 km per hour. So this is the speed change one need to adopt. So now from here I can see that there is a railway crossing, and now the distance is 300 meters. Now the distance is 200 meters, and now the distance is 100 meter, and now we can cross the railway crossing. So this is really important to check the signboards and to understand what it means by those signboards. So now from here I can see that there is a signboard, and on that particular signboard it's Wernigerode is written, which means that we are about to enter in the city area. And whenever we see such a kind of signboard, it means that we will be about to enter in the city area. And now we have to reduce our speed from 70 to 50 km per hour. Additionally, from here I can see that there is a warning sign for the pedestrians who could cross the road, and due to which now the maximum permissible speed is 30 km per hour. So here so again, as the traffic light is turned red, so we have to reduce our speed. So now, as I said earlier, we will be some of the important points in this video. So let's start with the city rules. So as we are driving at a speed around 30 km per hour, then 70. Likewise, we need to adapt. Then second, we have to observe the traffic signs carefully. Gives us more information. So for instance, here we can see that there is no entry signboard for the pedestrians, which means that they can come onto the main lanes. So this is why early signboard reading is quite important. So now from the next traffic light, as we want to turn left, so here we have to change the lane and we have to come back into the left lane. And as the traffic light is green, we can turn left. Additionally, here we can see that there are cyclists on the road, which means that we have to drive carefully when we want to drive in the city area. Now as we are going straight ahead, so here I can see that there is a signboard which gives us information that now we are going down the hill and the gradient is 10, and due to which the maximum permissible speed is 40 km/h. Always remember when we are going down the hill to check your speedometer. Sometimes we gain some momentum, and that's why we will be driving more than 40 km/h. So now from here I can see that we are about to enter into the roundabout. So whenever we see a roundabout, it means that we have to remember and use all the rules and regulations about the roundabout. Before entering the roundabout, we have to give the priority to the other road users who are inside the roundabout. And now as we wanted to take the first exit, so here we have to indicate and then we can exit the roundabout. So here we have to indicate when we want to exit the roundabout. So if you want to know how exactly you can drive in the roundabout, so I have created a separate video on this topic, so you can go and watch that video. So maneuver. Additionally, I can see that again we are about to enter into the roundabout. So as I said earlier, if there is a vehicle inside the roundabout, they will be given the first priority. But as there is no one, we can enter, and as we want to take the first exit, so here we have to indicate and then we can come out of the roundabout. Again here, for this particular section of the road, we can see that there is a cyclist, so I will do the quick overtaking maneuver. So here you might be having a question whether to do the overtaking maneuver or not. So based on the situation, you can make your own decision. For me, it was easier to do the overtaking maneuver, so I completed the overtaking maneuver. So now let's talk about core city awareness. So whenever we are driving in the city area, always remember to check the pedestrians and the cyclists. So for instance, here we have seen that for the previous section of the road there was a cyclist, so always check for them. Then we have to check for the vehicles which are coming from the streets or from the intersections. Even though if we have a priority sign, in that case also we have to check for them. And maybe if we are driving in the core city area, then there would be a dense traffic. So if you wanted to know how exactly you can drive in the core city area, I have created a separate video on this topic as well. So now from this intersection, as we want to turn left, so here we have to wait, and from here I can see that there is a give way sign. So now due to the traffic light which is red, we have to wait behind the vehicle. So now whenever we are driving inside the city area, so if you have some time or if you have some waiting time at the traffic lights, always use this traffic light for your always use this time to understand what potential challenges can come up next. So from here, as there is a taxi driver or school bus in front of me, I have to drive carefully at this particular section of the road. And always remember to maintain a safety distance between the two vehicles. So again, as we are entering into the roundabout, so here we have to remember the rules and regulations about the roundabout. So before entering, we have to give the priority to the other road users who are inside the roundabout, and when we want to exit the roundabout, we have to indicate. So this is how you have to come inside the roundabout and exit the roundabout. So now let's focus on the road. So as we are driving continuously in the city area, always remember that maximum permissible speed is 50 km/h. So if you want to know how the rules and regulations works inside the city area, I have created a separate theory video on this topic. So now as we can see that the school bus want to turn right, so here we have to reduce our speed and then we have to maintain a safety distance. So now we have to reduce our speed. So now from here I can see that we are about to enter into the roundabout. Again, you can think for a short time and you can analyze what the situation could be and how you will interact or how you'll react when you enter into the roundabout. Here we have to wait, we have to check, and then before exiting we have to indicate. So this is how we have to come out of the roundabout. So this is how. So now let's talk about lane and positioning management. So whenever we are driving in the city area, correct lane positioning or selection is quite important. So if there are multiple lanes, then always remember to use the right hand lane. This will really helpful for you to make the correct decisions. And again, as we are entering into the roundabout, so always remember the rules and regulations about the roundabout. And secondly, we have to avoid the sudden lane changes. So here, for example, if you want to turn right, then we have to be in the right hand lane first. So last minute lane change we need to avoid. And lastly, we need to keep the safety distance. So this is what the common things we need to check when we talk about lane positioning management. So again, we are entering into the roundabout, so always remember the rules and regulations about the roundabout. So now let's talk about junction handling. So whenever we are driving in the city area, so the junctions can be handled with the two types. The first type is the intersections can be handled with the traffic lights, and the second, the intersection will be handled with the roundabout. And as we want to turn right, so here we have to wait, we have to check our hard shoulder, and then we can turn right. So this is how you have to cross the intersection. So now let's focus on the road. So here we can see that the road surface is divided for the normal road users like car, buses, trucks, and the second section will be used by the cyclists. But here important thing we need to remember is that the road surface is divided with the dotted lines. So whenever we see a dotted line, it means that we are allowed to cross that particular section of the road. And if you see a solid line, then it means that we are not allowed to cross that line. There is a pedestrians crossing, which means that the pedestrians will have the priority. But as there is no one, we can drive straight ahead. Again, here we can see that there are solid lines which are dividing the road surface, which means that we are not allowed to cross the solid lines. Again, from the next traffic light, we want to turn right. So here we have to indicate, and now we can turn right. And now we are about to enter in the tunnel area. So if you are driving in the tunnel area, always remember the rules and regulations about the tunnel area. So as the traffic light is green, we can turn right. So until now we have covered a lot of important things where we'll talk about city traffic rule, then I talked about core city rules awareness, then we have talked about lane and positioning management, and then some of the common exam mistakes. So now let's focus on the road. Again, here we can see that there was a signboard which was saying that we are only allowed to go straight. So from exam perspective, these sections of the road are really important. But if the examiner wants to test your knowledge, so he might ask you to turn right. Then in that case, here we have to say no, this is not possible, because the direction arrow says that we are only allowed to go straight. So sometimes they will play around such a kind of scenario. So now from this traffic lights, as we want to turn left, we are in a left lane. So now here the question arises, if the traffic light turns green for us and as well as the vehicles which are coming from the opposite lane, who will be having the first priority? So here you can think for, and then we can discuss on this intersection. So yes, if we are driving or if we want to turn left and if there is a vehicle coming from the opposite lane, in that case, as the vehicle wants to go straight, he will be having the first priority. But as the vehicle wants to turn left, so there is no one who wants to go straight, so we can turn left.
So that's it from this video. In this video we have covered everything what you need to know if you want to drive in the city area.